If anyone's ever doubted how important Joe Anderson is to this team, he's had a season-ending, possibly career-threatening injury, and now we're having a little bit of a wobble as a result. Hello and welcome to part 88 of Backing the Boro. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we're at home against Rotherham and then away against Wimbledon, both in League One. Before we panic too much, we are still 8 points clear of Bradford, 10 points clear of the playoffs with 7 games to go. We should still be fine for promotion, if not the title. But as you can see in these few games since Anderson picked up his injury, we haven't won for 3 games now, and we've actually lost another game, this one against Gillingham. It was a bit of a battle, 4-3 in the end, but it's now 3 defeats in 2028. Disgraceful. But the big news is Joe Anderson, with this season-ending injury, possibly could end up being more serious than that. It says he's only out for 2 or 3 months now. When he was first injured, it was 6 to 7 months. So is he really? How long has it been since the last episode? Or is he just having some kind of super recovery? But he's got a hip injury that he got in training. So it's 5 weeks ago. He's recovering very, very quickly. He got a hip injury in training. It'll keep him out for the rest of the season. Looking at that now, though, he might even be back ready for pre-season training, which I was worried someone else would come and take his place in the team and he might never get to 400 or 500 appearances. He might not still be first choice when we hit the Premier League. But now I've seen his masterful powers of recovery and the fact that he's still improving despite being injured, then forget everything I said, Joe. You're still a hero. We do miss you a little bit with your leadership skills, though, because that's why we're losing games, or not winning games anyway. Craig Hudson's the one who's come in to deputise for him. And really, it's probably a final opportunity for Hudson, who apparently is Italian. Hang on. He was born in Italy. Well, there you go. It's probably his final opportunity to prove that he is an adequate deputy for Anderson. He's been around for a little while now, in and around the team, for this is his 4th season. If he doesn't start looking good now, at 21 years old, he's getting a bit over the hill for Nuneaton to not be established in the team. So this might be a final opportunity for Hudson to show he's got what it takes to make it in our team. But this is who we're putting out there for the game against Rotherham. We've got Parker in goal, a back 4 of Hudson, Hughes, Sawyer and Ibrahim, with Fletcher, Johnson and Barber in midfield, and Ball in behind Weaver and German. Let's get into the team and hopefully get back to winning ways. So if we're 10 points clear at the moment with 7 games to go, that means we could potentially win the league with 3 games to go. So we're not going to win the league today unless results go our way, or not going to get promoted today unless results go our way, but we could get promoted the match after. I'm showing you the wrong matches, basically. That's the moral of this tale. We need Stevenage to lose so that we can win both of these games and win the league. But the reason I wanted to show you now is because we just hit this sticky form. And rather than showing you the final 2 games of the season when we're back in good form and saying we had a sticky patch, I thought it might be better to show you the sticky patch. And it looks like the sticky patch is continuing, because 15 seconds into this match, we're already 1-0 down. If we bottle this from here, I am never going to hear the end of it. Come on, lads. We need a leader to emerge. We can't just rely on Joe Anderson. If we lose this one as well, there's an argument that we might have to get Sir Tom Elliott into the team for the following match. He's never played in League One. He needs to play at some point during this run-in anyway, just so he can have the opportunity to play in every league for us, which he might be a bit old for now. It's 2-0 down after 10 minutes. Not only might we play him, we might stick the captain's armband on him just to show a little bit of passion and oomph, because without Joe Anderson, we don't seem to have that. There are a few of the old timers who've drifted away from the first team recently. Robbie Nadat, as an example. Laskowski's another example. Who else has been around for a little while and isn't playing anymore? Squire Bill, Sir Tom Elliott, obviously. Dan Fisher isn't even a regular in the team now, because we've got so many other good options, and he doesn't seem to score as consistently as he used to. Perhaps we need to go back to the old school. Seriously, 3-0 down after 18 minutes. Where are Rotherham in the league even? Rotherham are in the playoffs. How is this a thing that's happening? We are just absolutely bottling it. And can we put this down to Joe Anderson? Can a captain be that important? I guess we don't have a team leader in the team at the moment. I think our team leaders are Fisher Anderson, and maybe it might be Sawyer, or Sir Tom Elliott might still be up there, but I think he's drifted down to just being highly influential, having not played for about 4 years. But perhaps we need to get a team leader out there. Rather than just picking the best 11 players without Joe Anderson, we need... Oh, James Ball's the other team leader. And there you go, showing a little bit of leadership. I forgot about him. He has been around for a while now. And it's a nice little finish. I mean, if we can drag ourselves back into this game, then I'll stop worrying so much. I'll start moaning about the defence rather than the mental state of our team. Because if we can come back from 3-0 down after 18 minutes to not lose the match, then that shows amazing mental ability. But if we let them go and score another goal here, they're not 4 goals better than us. They're blooming Rotherham. We're 15 points ahead of them in the league, at least 14 points ahead of them in the league. We're obviously the better team. They shouldn't be thumping us. Should encourage our players to try and play a short passing game. No, thank you. Let's just play the game that's got us out of the Conference North all the way up to the cusp of the Championship. Let's play the Nuneaton way. Short passing indeed. We want quick, high tempo passing, move the ball forward quickly, score goals. I mean, looking at those stats, the game has been fairly even. They've had the 2 clear-cut chances, we've not created one, but other than that, fairly even for shots, fairly even for possession. We just not got as much oomph about us. And I genuinely think it's a leadership thing. Joe Anderson's not there to drive us on. The amount of times not only is he showing his leadership, but also the amount of times we score a goal from a deep Joe Anderson cross, and I haven't seen Hudson even get in those positions yet. Fletcher crosses to Weaver. It's 3-2. The comeback is on. Come on, prove to me that we don't have any mental frailty. Let's get back into this game. Let's go win this game. What a way to end a dodgy spell by ending the dodginess all within the same game as being dodgy. What a sentence. Right, Dan Fisher. It's time for you, sir. Fisher's coming on for German, and we've got the Fisher and Weaver partnership together for the first time in ages. Hughes can come off for Burns because he's not having the best of games. And go on, lads. Let's have a Dan Fisher hat-trick to finish Rotherham off. This would crush Rotherham if we come back and beat them from here. Luckily, Stevenage do seem to be messing up in their games. We're still 10 points clear of them, like we were before the game started, despite the fact that we're losing. But it would be very handy to stretch that out to 13 points because we'd then have the potential to win the league in the next match. Fisher plays Barber in, and that should have been a better finish from Barber. But we are creating chances now at least, which we weren't doing in that first half. And I think, although we're still behind on clear-cut chance creation, I think we deserve to be back into it the way we played in the second half. Fletcher to Ball, plays Weaver in. There's your equaliser with 10 minutes to go. What a comeback. Mental frailty, my eye. The spirit of Joe Anderson, he's not dead. The spirit of Joe Anderson flowing through this team. He's cheering them on with his dodgy hip from the touchline. I might make him my assistant manager. If Sir Tom Elliott's going to refuse to take up a coaching role, which he still does, Joe Anderson might have to be my assistant manager when we win the Champions League. Right. What can we do? What can we do to grab a winner? Richardson is always good for a goal. But I don't really want to withdraw. I don't want to drop James Ball back into the midfield. So what I might do is just take off Johnson, bring on White, just literally freshen the midfield up a little bit without changing the way we're playing. And come on, lads, let's go find a really unlikely winner. A last-minute Dan Fisher winner would be a thing of beauty. If we lose at the last minute, that would be sad. Right, Ball. Forwards towards Fisher. It's one-on-one with Fisher, and we've got 2 men over in the middle. He goes the wrong way. Oh, why did he go to the right? I know Ibrahim, he's supposed to look for the overlap. It's part of our team instructions, but use your brain a little bit, Dan. But he's in again, on his own. Dan Fisher with a 91st minute winner. Surely, what a ridiculous result this will end up being. 3-0 down after 18 minutes. And our hero of the last, 3-4 seasons, Dan Fisher, he's been out of favour. He comes off the bench, and what a goal to put us 4-3 up on 91 minutes. This is insane. I mean, we deserve to go and win the league after a performance like that because that was just brilliant. Now, if results go our way and we beat Wimbledon, I think we can win the league in the next match. That was awesome. So much for this being the opportunity for Craig Hudson. He's now injured as well for the rest of the season. So we're giving a debut to Siander Gumedi at left back, who presumably is somebody we signed in the summer. 19-year-old South African under-20 international. We signed him from Tottenham this summer, I guess. He had been on loan back down in South Africa, but came in for us. I mean, he's probably not ever going to be any good. He'd be our fourth choice. Brandon Hughes is even a better left back than he is. So there was an argument to bring Burns or Laskowski into the centre back positions and move Hughes over. But we've got a left back. Let's have a look at him. I was going to put Sir Tom Elliott on the bench today as well, but then he picked up an injury. He's actually getting quite injury prone in his old age. A gashed upper leg. He's 33 years old now, but picking up an awful lot of injuries. But I am conscious of the fact that there's only 6 games left now and he hasn't yet played in League One. So he's running out of time to play in League One. We need to find a League One game for Sir Tom Elliott to play in, and we'll play him once he's fit. Don't you worry. He'll play in the next episode. He was going to play today. But that's the only change for today's game. We'll give Gumedi a squad number. I mean, he might be an absolute superstar at left back. Who knows? He gets the number 3, which I guess was vacant. Joe Anderson probably looking at that thinking, I've been here 10 years and I've never been given the number 3. This lad, he's 19. He's only just arrived. To be fair, Joe Anderson was 19 and had only just arrived at one point, but we didn't give him the number 3 shirt. No idea who had it at the time. Answers on a postcard. Who was our number 3 when Joe Anderson signed? In fact, Joe Anderson signed in the Conference North. So he probably was wearing the number 3 for a little while because it was pre-squad numbers. So the fact that he then didn't get the number 3, that's my fault entirely. Well, because he would have already been our first choice left back when we started using squad numbers in the Conference National. I think that's when you start using them. Or is it League 2? I forget now. Good save from Parker. Right, what's the situation? After today's game, there'll be 5 games left, so we'd need a gap of 16 points to be able to win the league today. At the moment, the gap is 11, so we need to go ahead in our game and Stevenage need to go behind in their game. And if both of those things happen, we could potentially win the league here and now. Well, not win the league. I keep saying win the league, I mean get promoted. But it's basically the same thing. There's 1 point between Bradford and Stevenage. So once we're promoted, we've all but won the league as well because the gap is so big. But priority number 1 is get promoted. Then we'll worry about winning the league. So let's start using the correct terminology, Kev. Goodness me. Right, where are Forest, by the way? Forest were right up there with us for most of the season. They've fallen off massively. I just noticed because they came up from League 2 with us, didn't they, I think? So it would have been quite fun to have the old band back together, getting another promotion. But Forest have let us down. James Ball is in. He never lets us down. It is 1-0. 15 minutes on the clock. Wimbledon 0. Nuneaton 1. That puts the gap back up to 13 points. So we do need. I think Stevenage are winning their game, so we need them to lose. We'll have a look in a second to see who Stevenage are playing to see if it's likely. That's it. We don't need to see too much of this celebration. Look, he's doing the old calm down hands. Right, Stevenage are playing. They're away at Gillingham. Where are Gillingham in the league? Gillingham are useless. So we're asking a lot from Gillingham to do us a favour. So it might be that we don't win promotion today. It was always going to be a long shot. It was really about getting ourselves out of the doldrums that we were in. That's why I wanted to show you these matches. I don't know if I'll show you that. Do we need to see the match where we win promotion, or do we just want to see the last couple of games of the season after we've already done it? The job's pretty much done at this point. And because I'm recording these videos in advance, because right now, as you're watching this, if you're watching it when it first comes out, I'm in Leamington for the FM Charity Cup. So I'm recording both these episodes in advance. I'm going to have to make a decision. You'll find out tomorrow what decision I made, whether I show you the game where we actually get promoted or whether I just show you the last couple of the season. Like I say, with the dominance that we're in, I don't know that it makes that much difference. We'll just see a couple more games. It's probably more beneficial to see the end of the season because then we can at least see who finished top scorer, look at the stats, that kind of thing. So we might just do that unless I decide that... Unless it gets interesting. Like if we lose our next game... And it looks like, if we lose this game even, then we might just string this out a little bit longer. Right, I am starting to think in terms of substitutions. Stevenage are still winning their game. What's the score? It's 2-0 now to Stevenage. So we're not winning promotion today. We have already confirmed a playoff spot. We did that with the result in the last game. But now let's just have a couple of goals, get ourselves back into free scoring form. That's just the opposite of what I asked us to do. It's like they don't even listen. There's some weird sponsors appearing round the ground. I thought they sold the sponsorship to real companies. I mean, it might be that they do, but there was like a gas company sponsoring down this side. Where is it? Over here. Is that a real company? Is there really some kind of gas company who are sponsoring? Well, I mean, what's cherryred.co.uk? Kind of don't want to go and have a look. That's weird. Right, Burns can come on. Dan Fisher, come and make yourself a hero once again. How many times does Dan Fisher have to make himself a hero? He's already a hero, but he's got another opportunity today to grab us another very important winner and basically single-handedly drag us into the championship, despite not starting a game for the second half of this season. We're now behind. What's happening here? I can't read what that one is. DFTB? No. Couldn't read it in time. There's some weird sponsors around here. Most of these I recognise, but those couple in the corner, I wonder if it's because it's Wimbledon and because of the relationship SI have with Wimbledon, perhaps they get some of their real life sponsors on here. That's the one, that gas company. I'm tempted to ring them up and ask them if they're real. Someone let me know down in the comments, are that gas company real? I'm interested now. Right, Fletcher's not having a very good game at all. We're going to bring Richardson on for Fletcher and just try and get some kind of game-changing going on in here. Get Richardson in behind the front two. Ball can drop back into the midfield. And we've got 10 minutes to grab an equaliser. We should still be comfortable for promotion regardless, but we don't want to string this out too far. That's terrible. Who was that? Was that Burns? That was just awful. And now they're in again. It's a great covering tackle, though, from Sawyer. And Burns sort of clears. But Gamady does clear it up towards Weaver. But we give it straight back to Wimbledon again, and they're going to come at us again. Johnson with the tackle this time. Forward through to Weaver. We still have time to get back into this game. There's 8 minutes left, plus any time added on. But we're just being really sloppy with the ball. It's like the reverse of what happened in the last match. We're ending this match the way we started the one before. But there is Weaver. There is your equaliser. And now we're thinking in terms of, right, 8 minutes to go and win this bad boy. Because we've still got Dan Fisher's hero moment to come. Sawyer does quite well to keep that in there. You could argue there's not really any reason to keep that in other than the fact that it allowed us to spring that counter-attack and led directly to a goal. So Sawyer does really, really well. And now we've got 5 minutes left. Let's go and grab a winner. It would be a complete mugging. Looking at the stats, we would be mugging Wimbledon. I'm not averse to doing a little bit of mugging when it's required, though. Needs must when you're in a promotion fight. That was a big miss. That felt like another clear-cut chance. I don't think it went down as one, but it blooming felt like one. It was terrifying. Big goal kick forward. Why let the ball bounce? Both teams just letting it bounce there. Caused a little bit of hassle, but ended up being cleared. And now they've got the chance to break on us. We need to get a tackle in. Somebody needs to get a tackle in here. But they've got a man over in the middle. We've got two men against Burns in the middle, and one of them scored. They just did to us what we did to them 5 minutes earlier. A quick counter-attack from just a fairly sloppy moment. Are we going to... So it's one of these two, isn't it? There's three of them. There's three men around one defender there. They are properly going for it. Why are they so desperate to score? Why are they throwing so many men forward? Oh, because they're still trying to force themselves into the playoffs. They have a real reason to try and get a result out of this game, whereas we're 10 points clear of the playoffs and 5 games left, and we're still pretty much there. So Wimbledon are absolutely fighting. But there is Fisher. Cross comes in. Weaver with the 96th minute equaliser. Massive hesitation from their defender. And that, it does feel a little bit harsh on Wimbledon that we've just done that to him. But what on earth is their defender thinking here? He runs it back there himself, stops it, then runs off the pitch. He's basically teeing it up for Fisher to just put it onto Weaver's toe. It's 3-3. That feels fair. The clear-cut chances would tell you another story. We're mugging them with a draw, but I'm calling that fair. And they've just done the same thing again, teeing it up for ball, but this time we don't have time to capitalise on it. I'm accepting a draw there. I can live with that completely. And now we've got the opportunity to win the league against billionaires Swindon, who are sat down in mid-table. We've got no money. They've got billions. We're top of the league. Ha, ha, ha. They offered me an interview, and I just didn't even go, because why would I want to go to Swindon? If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.